Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Doug story time again. Yay! Today we are going to be reading the story Going Places by Peter and Paul Reynolds. Peter and Paul Reynolds are brothers, and they wrote the story together, so they're both authors. And then Peter is the illustrator, and he drew all the pictures. Going Places by Peter and Paul Reynolds. Raphael had been waiting all year long for the Going Places contest. A chance to build a go-kart, race it, and win. And when their teacher announced who would like the first kit, well, Raphael's hand shot up. He wanted to be first. The rest of the class watched enviously as Raphael walked back to his seat with a kit. Enviously means all the other kids really wanted what he had. And Mrs. Shonda assured them, don't worry, you'll all be getting one. So there's the kit. And it's called the Going Places kit. And in this kit, it has everything you need in that box to build something. And this particular build is going to be a go-kart. Okay? So all of his friends wanted one, and Miss Shonda assured them, don't worry, you're all getting one. And they're all exactly alike. Look, there's the kit. It says Going Places kit. All exactly alike, except for the name tags. So I'm going to read all these names to you. These are all the people in Raphael's class. Sarah and Anne, Shanice and Diamond, Maya and Max. I don't think they're from our classroom. They're just different people with the same name. Sunita, Diana, Terrell, Caitlin, Grace, Billy, Jeannie, Leroy, Beyonce, Violet, Kathy, Fiona, Elena, Holly, Raj, and Henry. Henry? We know a Henry. The kit came with a set of precise instructions. That meant instructions you had to follow exactly, perfectly. And that made Raphael happy. He was very good at following directions. So there's the directions, a big paper. He even had a magnifying glass to look at everything carefully. Look at all the parts that came out of the kit. Wow, Raphael was pretty excited. So Raphael hammered and glued and nailed and assembled his kit. Oh, look at that. You can see numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all part of the directions. His go-kart looked just like the one in the directions. He was feeling quite proud. And Raphael wondered how his classmate Maya was doing. She lived right next door. So there it is, finished. He was very proud of it, and then he thought, I wonder what Maya's go-kart looks like. He peered over the fence into Maya's yard. Hey, Maya, you haven't even started? Maya didn't even respond. She was so intent on watching the bird in front of her and quickly sketching it that she didn't even notice Raphael. Oh, look, Maya is looking at that bird and sketching it in her notebook or journal. She didn't even notice Raphael. Then she just put down her pencil and stared at the bird dreamily. Wow. Raphael shrugged, and then he let her be. The next morning, Raphael checked back in to see how Maya was doing. Wow, what is that? He asked. Maya grinned. You like it? Raphael responded slowly, yeah, extremely cool. But, Maya, there's just one little problem. That's not a go-kart. It sure isn't. Maya smiled. Who said it had to be a go-kart? Raphael was confused. The set of instructions inside the box were for a go-kart. But then again, they didn't say it had to be a go-kart. He looked again at Maya's contraption, and after a moment, he grinned. I get it. Hey, Maya, I really want to win this race. The instructions never said we couldn't team up together. And so they did. Working late into the evening, they worked together as a team. Well, the next day, everyone gathered for the big race. Each go-kart was a perfect replica of the other. They all look the same. It says Going Places Contest, and this says Start. That's the starting line. Each go-kart was a perfect replica of the others, except one. What? One of the kids laughed. Looks like you had trouble with the Going Places instructions. You're going places all right. You're going to lose. He started laughing. I don't know, that looks pretty cool. Even if they lose, that was pretty cool. They worked together on that. A good team. Well, Maya and Raphael didn't even have time to respond because the announcer's big, boomy voice called out, Attention, racers! Start your engines! 4, 3, 2, 1. And a buzzer sounded, and they're off! Look at that. They're speeding away. While all the other go-karts disappeared in a cloud of dust, Maya just sat there in their motionless vehicle. Raphael shouted over the roar of the engines and cheering crowds, Maya, what are we waiting for? No worries, Raphael, Maya answered. Flaps down, throttle up. She's got a cool helmet on, doesn't she? And now they took off into the air. There's everybody in the race. They started flying through the air instead of going over the ground. The other contestants looked up in amazement. Maya and Raphael hovered and then sped past them all. Hovered means just to kind of sit there in the air, looking at everybody. And then sped past them all. And before long, Maya and Raphael coasted across the finish line to the cheers of the waiting crowd. Yay! It says finish. And look, there's one car way back there, so looks like they got there first. So they kept rolling past the finish line, clear across the race grounds, and Maya slammed the brakes, stopping just short of the lake at the edge of the school field. Uh-oh. Look what they saw. Ooh, that was close. They might have fallen in. Raphael noticed a startled frog leap from a lily pad there and dive into the water. He raised his eyebrows and looked at Maya. And she smiled. Raphael, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Raphael just nodded. Oh, that's their next invention. So at the beginning of the story, Maya was watching a bird and was writing on her journal about the bird. And then they ended up making the airplane go-kart. And now they saw this frog on this page and thought they could make something else too. That's pretty cool. They're a pretty good team, Maya and Raphael. Well, boys and girls, thank you for story time, and we will see you again real soon. Goodbye.